Welcome to the Flow Tracy Money Audio Commentary. This is Owen Tracy recording, and it is 3:32 p.m. that is Central Time. Today is July 1st, and I thought that I would kick off today and look at the 10-year yield, because I think that's where we've had one of the bigger moves today. Not only was the yield up, but we've had quite a lot of commonality. So we had a big move in the gilt yield in the UK, the Bund yield, but in France, the spread over bunds contracted. Then Japanese yields have been trending higher, and probably the most consistent trend in the global bond markets. And of course, what it is pricing in is some angst around some of these elections that are going on and forthcoming. Then the stock market was pretty benign today, and the Nasdaq Composite was up about 0.8%. The Dow was pretty much unchanged, and then I think it's also relevant here that the Nasdaq 100 future was closing out the day above the psychological 20,000, and then the Dow Jones Industrial Average, it hasn't quite surmounted the 40,000 level yet, but it's looking like this is just a consolidation prior to something like that. Then we've had a fairly dynamic move in Bitcoin as well, where it continues to bounce from the 60,000 level, and it was up $1,375 in here today. Then Nvidia, which had got all the way down to test the lower side of its range in early trading, rebounded and closed in positive territory. So that's, I think, rather important to highlight as well. And then the move that we've had in oil prices and gas prices is noteworthy. So Brent crude had a contract change. There's a gap on the continuation chart as a result, but the new front month is up $1.66, closing out the day above the $86 area. Then natural gas prices were down in a dynamic manner, have been falling on consecutive days. That front month contract now in the US is down to $2.47. And I think that really does help to emphasize that there's no shortage of gas. Now, that doesn't mean that at some point in the future, the unconventional supply out of West Texas is going to peak. But that's not today. Then in the wider commodity complex, European gas prices were in negative territory, not in a particularly dynamic manner, but down. Then lumber prices, having been trending lower, were in positive territory today and up about less than 1%. And then sugar prices, which had rebounded in trading last week, were down today. So we're still getting quite a lot of volatile action in the commodity complex. And then there is this hurricane rapidly intensifying in the Caribbean. It's the quickest acceleration in a formation of a Category 4 hurricane ever, and it's generally accepted that you don't see a large hurricane forming that far east and this early in the season. And because this one did form and intensify in June, it's setting records. Now the next question is it going to turn northwestward into the Gulf of Mexico, or will it make landfall somewhere in the Yucatan? And this is obviously going to have a significant impact then on what the disaster preparedness is going to look like.